Chapter 2149 Light Here. Chapter 2149 Light Here. Yi Emo shook his head to say that he hadn't heard of it. You actually never heard of Lightheart? Xing Hong looked at Yi Emo with disbelief. Please teach me. Yi Emo saluted with his fists. Xing Hong stared at Yi Emo for a long while before confirming that Yi Emo really didn't know about Lightheart. He explained, you can concoct Tao actualization God pills, meaning that you have a top-level heaven flame. Even if this flame wasn't at the peak of God flame, it's a God flame, right? That's right. Yi Emo said. Then you probably know what the highest level of flames are, right? Xing Hong asked again. Yi Emo nodded. I only know that in the immortal realm, once a flame reaches God flame, it would be the highest level, but according to my guess, God flame isn't the highest level. Xing Hong sighed and looked at Yi Emo saying, I really don't dare believe you have such high pill concoction prowess. I'll tell you, usually God flame is already at the peak, but God flame indeed isn't the highest level of flame. The highest level of flame is called divine flame. Yi Emo thought this was indeed. Little Blue couldn't melt Murder Tao's spear, and from that he knew that God flame wasn't the highest level. Xing Hong nodded. Even in the entire universe, there's only a few divine flames. The reason divine flames are so hard to get is because they are formed from a top-level God flame, devouring Lightheart. As a prenatal material, Lightheart is very rare. Lightheart is prenatal material. Yi Emo was truly shocked this time. Xing Hong said heavily, that's right. Lightheart is formed in the light world of the universe. It's very rare, and even if there are any left, it's collected by powerful beings to feed their flame. The Lightheart is a prenatal material, but it can't be made into other magic artifacts. It can only allow a flame to reach divine flame. You're planning to give me a Lightheart. Yi Emo thought, if there really was a Lightheart, he could help this void marketplace merchant tower. Xing Hong smiled bitterly. Pill Divine, ye looks too highly of us. We're wealthy, but we don't have the capability to give a Lightheart to Pill Divine Yi. Yi Emo frowned. Then why even speak about this? However, we can provide Pill Divine Yi with an extreme grade God spirit range and 2 billion God crystals to contend for the Lightheart. Xing Hong said. Hearing this, Yi Emo was extremely shocked. He had about 2 billion God crystals, and this was very wealthy to him, but they gave him this much so casually. Yi Emo knew that although he could earn 1 billion God crystals on the first day, but that didn't mean the second and third would be the same. Yi Emo immediately asked, there's Lightheart in the void marketplace? It's being auctioned? Xing Hong nodded. Yes, there are multiple merchant towers protecting it together. 10 days later, it will be sold with 9 other absurd materials. There would be countless powerful beings coming. Yi Emo sneered, let's not talk about whether I would be able to buy it, but even if I do you think I can protect it? Xing Hong's face dazed for a moment and said, of course not by yourself, but if you join the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower, then there would be no problem. We're not the strongest in the Void Marketplace, but no one dares to come start trouble with us. What if a primordial essence divine emperor came? Yi Emo said plainly. Xing Hong said assertively, primordial essence divine emperors have indeed come to the Void Marketplace before, but I'm certain there would be no way primordial essence divine emperor would come to this auction. Primordial essence divine emperor knows the heavens and earth. Even if the Void Marketplace is good, it can attract such powerful beings. Plus, the Lightheart will be sold 10 days later. Even if Primordial Essence Divine Emperor gets news of it, they wouldn't have time to buy it. Thank you for your good, will immortal friends, Xing. I'll think about it, but never mind about the Lightheart. I'm not interested in this. Yi Emo got up and saluted with his fists. Yi Emo hadn't seen the power of the Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, but he was certain that even just 15 minutes was enough for them to cross over from another realm, much less 10 days. Seeing Yimo's firm attitude, Xing Hong could only get up then have a good think. Pill Divine Yi. You can come to me at any time. If Pill Divine, you don't like staying here, you can move into our hotels at any time. Okay, Yimo said, and watched Xing Hong leave. He wanted the light heart, of course, but he knew that if he really bought it, he would never be able to leave the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. Regardless if he could get the light heart or not, he would go try. He wasn't going to let others know he came to the auction. Yimo just asked at the auction door and knew about auction. There were 9 other things auctioned along with light heart, but Yimo hadn't even heard of any of them. The entrance ticket to the auction was 10 million god crystals, and a room costed 50 million god crystals. Yimo thought there was no way people would pay this much for an auction that only had 10 things, but just standing at the door for a while, Yimo saw nearly hundreds of tickets being sold. Yimo exclaimed, there were too many wealthy people in the Void Marketplace. Yimo had decided to enter the auction, but he didn't dare to buy tickets now. He squeezed into the crowd and then left the Void Marketplace. He had to be very careful about the auction this time. Otherwise, with his power, he would easily die. If there wasn't so many restrictions in the Void Marketplace, he even planned to set up a teleportation formation. After Yimo left the Void Marketplace, he started to change his looks and chi. Yimo made a magic artifact that changed his looks. It didn't take much effort. A day later, a dark-robed Tao Essence Divine Emperor entered the Void Marketplace. He walked around the Void Marketplace streets for a while before buying a room ticket at the auction. Yimo was so desperate as he knew there would only be 10,000 tickets being sold this time. Although there were many people buying the tickets, most people in the Void Marketplace didn't know about the auction. Otherwise, the tickets would be sold over in a day. Most people who came to buy tickets heard some inside story, like Yimo. After buying the ticket, Yimo secretly recovered his look and went back to his stall. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2150, Resolve Conflicts. Chapter 2150, Resolve Conflicts. Yimo, where have you been these few days? I've been looking for you for a few days. As soon as Yimo came back, Tang Xiaoyu came up and asked desperately. Yimo laughed. I went elsewhere to buy some materials. Pill Divine Yi, you're finally back. I need to ask you to help concoct a cauldron of North Soul pills. Pill Divine Yi. As soon as Yimo spoke with Tang Xiaoyu, quite some people squeezed up to Yimo's stall. These people were all waiting for Yimo to concoct pills. Yimo disappeared for an entire day. No wonder they were so worried. Yimo quickly stood out and said loudly, Everyone, lately I've used up all my pill concoction materials, and due to concocting pills for a day and night, my sea of consciousness is a bit damaged. I need to go into solitary cultivation for a few days. Please come over a bit later. This was a right excuse. Solitary cultivation? I'm afraid you can't go into solitary cultivation now. An extremely cold voice sounded. This voice was so cold that instant-second powerful force pushed people back. It's one Tong Tong, ranked 273 on the God rank. People immediately recognized this person. Next to her is God rank 121. Cieli, Pill Divine, Yi has trouble now. Hee, perhaps our opportunity has come. If Pill Divine, Yi speaks, we'll attack. Idiot, do you think the people from the God rank are like ordinary Tao Actualization Divine Emperor? They can instantly kill 3 or 4 ordinary Tao Actualization Divine Emperors. Yimo looked at this woman. She was Tao Actualization Divine Emperor peak stage. She was extremely tall. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor next to her had even stronger Tao waves than her. Yi Mo suddenly regretted. If he knew that Wan Tong Tong would come for his trouble at this time, he wouldn't need to have left the void marketplace. He would wait till she kicked him away, and then come back to buy tickets. You're quite bold. Do you think that just because you're a pill divine, you don't need to worry? Wan Tong Tong looked at Yi Mo in contempt. Yi Mo said casually, I've never seen your brother. His death has nothing to do with me. If you have to blame his death on me, then whatever. You're a pill divine, and I don't dare to attack you now indeed. If you have the balls, then accept my challenge. I formally challenge you now. Wan Tuntong said. Even if Wan Tuntong didn't attack him, Yi Mo planned to challenge her. He didn't understand why she attacked him. There was no way she didn't know he didn't kill her brother. She knew this, and she still challenged him, who was a pill divine. What did this mean? In order to prevent others from disturbing our battle. If you're willing to accept the challenge, then we'll clash in the void. Hearing this, Yi Mo realized she wasn't here to get revenge for her brother. She was here for his wealth. A mere Tao Actualization Divine Emperor dared to greed after his things. Yi Mo sneered inside. However, she was lucky as he wouldn't kill her. Just when Yi Mo was thinking about how to disappear from the void marketplace, a deal came up to him. If he was chased away by Wan Tuntong, then he could come back in a new outfit and buy the light heart. Yi Mo didn't say much and said to Tang Xiaoyu, Go do your thing, I need to resolve conflicts with this Wan Tuntong. Tang Xiaoyu quickly said, Yi Mo, this has nothing to do with you. Why are you fighting her? In Tang Xiaoyu's eyes, there was no way Yi Mo was a match for Wan Tuntong. It was suicide. A sliver of joy flashed across Wan Tuntong's eyes, and she immediately said, Seeing as how you have some courage, if you can last more than 5 minutes with me, I can let you live. She turned to that man and said, Marshal Brother Hai, wait for me here for half a day. After I get my revenge, I will come back immediately. Then she sneered at Yi Mo. Let's go. Yi Mo chased up without hesitation. After leaving the void marketplace, Wan Tuntong realized a top-grade flying god artifact. Yi Mo took out his space-time boat and followed her closely. Yi Mo followed her, but on the way, he left clear marks. Wan Tuntong didn't notice this at all. When she saw Yi Mo's flying magic artifact, she rejoiced. It was just as Yi Mo guessed. She had already discussed with Xieli. After she killed Yi Mo, they would split Yi Mo's things. Half a day later, Wan Tuntong stopped and threw out a teleportation formation disc and said, Give me everything you have. I might not kill you. Yi Mo couldn't be bothered talking to her and realized Zisu, if he didn't need to let this woman spread news for him, he would have killed her in one strike. Crevice God art was only an ordinary god, art amongst Yi Mo's arsenal, but Yi Mo attacked with full power. He wanted to see what the top 300 of the god rank was like. Wan Tuntong clearly didn't expect Yi Mo to say nothing and attack straight up. She released a 5-color full moon bracelet. The 5 colors shone and instantly formed a shield blocking Yi Mo's purple ray. Thud! The crevice purple ray landed on this shield and scattered rainbow colors. Wan Tuntong felt her sea of consciousness rumble. She was very shocked. It was just a simple clash to test each other, but Yi Mo's powerful god essence and spirit sense made her unable to believe it. She was someone of the god rank. Ordinary Tao actualization peak stage was nothing to her. To be able to shake her sea of consciousness, it meant that his power was stronger than ordinary Tao actualization divine emperor. No wonder he dared to come. He thought he was strong. No matter what, she was going to kill him. She threw out the formation disc, and in a blink, Xieli appeared next to her. Marshal Brother Xie, This person isn't weak. He's slightly stronger than ordinary Tao actualization divine emperor. Wan Tuntong said. Cieli sneered. No wonder you dare to come out alone. I heard this person earned nearly 1 billion God crystals in one day and piles of materials and God spirit herbs. I think he still has quite a lot of God pills on him now. Marshall's sister Tong Tong. Let's finish the battle quickly. However, before he attacked Yemo used transmission and disappeared. Let's chase. He won't be able to escape. Cieli sneered. It seems he's no ordinary Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor. He broke free from our combined domain. Perhaps he has other secrets. Wait, why did he leave a trail of these magic artifact fragments after leaving and some broken armor? Wan Tuntong grabbed out a few magic artifact fragments from where Yemo disappeared. Ha! You two earned a huge sum just then. We came just in time. However, we can only see some magic artifact fragments. That's right, a mere Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor is quite amazing to last a few seconds with you two. Before the two could leave, a huge laughter sounded, and a few more people appeared around them. Cieli frowned. Bailey Hong, what do you mean? If it wasn't that Bailey Hong was also on the God rank, Cieli would have attacked already. This guy wasn't ranked much lower than him. There were 3 people who came. The leading man sneered. Let's cut the crap. Don't even tell me about Wan Tantong's revenge. We've been watching the Pill Divine Yi for an entire day. We don't need a lot of his materials and God crystals. Just split us 40%. Cieli and Wan Tantong finally realized why Yemo threw down those magic artifact fragments. They didn't even have time to be angry over how shameless Yemo was, as they were facing 3 Tao actualization divine emperors no weaker than them. There was no use in explaining now. No one would believe a Tao nourishment pill divine would be able to escape 2 God rank masters. Plus, there were this many marks left at the scene. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2151 Primordial Spirit Artifact. Chapter 2151 Primordial Spirit Artifact. Yemo was already very far from the battlegrounds now. Even if the two weren't stopped, there was no way they would be able to chase up to him. If he didn't need the two to tell everyone he ran away, he would have killed them on the spot. After cultivating in the Golden Page world for a few days, he changed himself into a dark-robed Tao Essence Divine Emperor and entered the Void Marketplace again. Yemo didn't believe anyone would be able to recognize him. Even a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor would have to have seen him before to recognize him. He had turned into a cocky, dark, robed Tao Essence Divine Emperor. Most stealth cultivation methods suppress their power levels, but only Yemo could change his cultivation level to a higher one. As soon as Yemo entered the Void Marketplace, he knew that the news of the auction had leaked. The entrance was squeezed full, with all sorts of divine emperors. They all came to seek one door ticket. Many people knew that even if they got in the auction, they wouldn't be able to buy anything, but they were still willing to go in and see things. Yemo rejoiced that he bought the tickets early. Otherwise, he wouldn't even be able to get in. If he knew this would happen, he should have bought large sums of tickets and resold him. But Yemo only just thought about it. He knew that if he wanted the light heart, he couldn't do this. The auction would open 2 hours later. Yemo walked around and came before his stall. Yemo found in shock that his stall was still there. There were still some divine emperors discussing. Yemo walked up. What a pity! Pill Divine. You was such a good Tao actualization Pill Divine, but was killed after concocting pills for 1 day. Yeah, that previous stall owner, Wan Feijian, had nothing to do with Pill Divine Yi. That one Tong Tong thinks she's from the God rank, and thus could do anything. Well, she got what she deserved. So what if she killed Divine Yi? She's beaten into heavy injury. If she didn't have an astral transmission rune, she would have died already. Hearing this, Yemo realized that the traps he set behind were useful. Yemo was in a great mood now. Although he couldn't teach her a lesson personally, it was still good that the dogs bit each other. You said Divine Yi was killed. An extremely serious voice sounded. Yemo became careful. This person was definitely a Tao Essence Divine Emperor peak stage. Just from his tone, he could tell that this person had killed too many. Yes, Divine Yi was killed. Wan Tong Tong and Cieli hunted him, and Divine Yi was killed in the void by them. People on the side quickly said. The blue-faced Divine Emperor frowned and sneered. Where are those two? They were beaten into heavy injury and escaped with secret techniques. Where are the people who beat them? What are their names? It's Bailey Hong, and before the Divine Emperor, this blue-faced Tao Essence Divine Emperor already disappeared. Yemo looked at this person in confusion. He had never seen this guy before, but he seemed desperate to find him. The reason the stall was still here was probably due to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. They were hoping he wasn't killed and would come back. But even if Yemo was to come back using his original identity, that would be after he reached Tao Actualization Divine Emperor or even Tao Essence Divine Emperor. When Yemo left from here and returned to the door of the auction, the grounds were already open. As a cocky and violent Tao Essence Divine Emperor, no one dared to come talk to him when he entered. Yemo had never seen a room that costed 50 million God crystals. He was certain that the organizers of this auction would at least make 100 billion. But Yemo knew this wasn't much. Just protecting the light heart would need multiple Tao Essence Divine Emperors to protect it. This costed money. After entering the room, Yemo felt it was only so-so. There were just some restrictions, but in terms of area and immortal fruits, it was worse than ordinary auction rooms. Yemo didn't care about this. The first thing he did coming in was to set up all sorts of restrictions. He wasn't going to let people scan their spirit sense in his room, no matter what. The auction was very big. In here, even ordinary seats had restrictions to protect them. No one's spirit sense could scan in. Everyone who came could only see one place, and that was the center stage. After Yemo set up restrictions, he sat for 15 minutes, and a gray-robed old man appeared on the stage. Even through the restrictions, Yemo could tell this old man was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor. The old man saluted with his fists and said, "Immortal friends, every item sold here will be one that will shock a realm. I won't waste much time. The first item is called Immortal Extermination Stick." Yemo didn't know what this was, but as soon as the old man said this, the entire lobby and all the rooms rustled about. The old man raised his hand and calmed people down before continuing. "I believe not many wouldn't know what this is. That's right, Immortal Extermination Stick is a primordial spirit artifact." Hearing this, Yemo took in a cold breath. This was something even Primordial Essence Divine Emperor would fight over. This was something many levels higher than Extreme Grade God Artifact. This wasn't something that could be forged. Who was dumb enough to sell it? The old man coughed. Of course, although it's a primordial spirit artifact, it's broken due to some reasons. It's no longer considered a primordial spirit artifact. Hearing this, Yemo thought that was right. But even a broken primordial spirit artifact wasn't something ordinary extreme grade god artifact could compare with. The old man didn't continue talking. He opened the wooden box on the table and took out a black stick. Even though it was broken, the powerful force could still be felt. People's sea of consciousness was shaking when their spirit sense landed on the stick. There's no starting price. The highest bidder gets it. The bidding begins now. The old man said, "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible." Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2152 Insane Auction. Chapter 2152 Insane Auction. 200 million God crystals plus 2 middle grade God spirit range. Someone bid. Yemo wasn't interested in this stick, but hearing this first bid, his heart sunk. Clearly, the final price would be much higher than this, maybe even 10 times more. Thus, it was really questionable if he could take down the Lightheart. He had 2 billion God crystals and 2 extreme grade God spirit ranges. He had a few more top grade God spirit ranges. As for middle grade, Yemo didn't even bother calculating. Middle grade God spirit range definitely wasn't enough to buy Primordial Spirit Artifact, 500 million God crystals, and a top grade God spirit range. Someone else bid. The price kept going up until the stick was bought with 1 billion God crystals and 1 top grade God spirit range. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor used the teleportation formation on the stage to send the stick to the bidder before taking out the second jade box. I believe no one would know the second item. It's a cosmic lotus. As soon as these 2 words came out, it caused even more ruckus. Even Yemo was extremely shocked. Just what auction was this? He was thinking about Cosmic Lotus when he bought the 9-star bamboo. Now, he really saw one. The Cosmic Lotus had 9 petals and a seed. The seed could be eaten alone to learn Tao Essence, or if it was used in pill concoction with the petals, it could be concocted into the Cosmic Tao Pill. The Qian Essence Tao Fruit was also one to help people reach Tao Essence, but everyone knew it was far from as valuable as the Cosmic Lotus. Yemo really wanted the Cosmic Lotus, but he knew his fortunes were limited. The auctioneer held his hands to quiet down everyone before continuing. The Cosmic Lotus is left here by someone to auction. We don't get to decide if the final price is high or low. He will sell the lotus to whoever gives him the thing he wants the most. I'll bid 800 million God crystals and 1 top-grade God spirit range. Someone who could bid such price were pretty much all from the rooms. 1 billion God crystals and 1 top-grade God spirit range, and 1 Du Yuan I was something extremely good. It can be used to concoct God, I pill. Even direct usage can clear up one's eyes. Just the second bid made the scene fall silent. Are there any other bids? The Tao Essence Divine Emperor knew this price was a bit awkward. 1 billion God crystals wasn't high, but that Du Yuan I stopped many people from bidding. Just when everyone thought this would be the price, a new bid appeared. 1 top-grade God spirit range and 2 great Primordial God Rune Tao fruits. As soon as this price came out, it caused a huge ruckus. Cosmic Lotus was a Tao fruit, and it was worth much more than ordinary Tao fruits, but the great Primordial God Rune Tao fruit was a powerful Tao fruit. It wasn't as good as the Cosmic Lotus, but 2 was bidded. The only drawback to this bid was no God crystals. Clearly, Yemo bid this. Even the auctioneer was touched. He didn't understand why the bidder didn't auction these things. After a while, no one else bid again. The scene fell silent. Due to privacy measures, the seller and bidder's identities wouldn't be exposed. Everyone wondered if this person had more great Primordial God Rune Tao fruits. If he did, would he auction them? 15 seconds later, the Tao Essence Divine Emperor said, the seller chose 1 billion God crystals, 1 top-grade God spirit range, and 1 Du Yuan I, but he wants to ask if the immortal friends with great Primordial God Rune Tao fruit would exchange other things for the 2 great Primordial God Rune Tao fruits. Yemo couldn't even be bothered answering and just took back his bid. Seeing this, the Tao Essence Divine Emperor knew that Yemo didn't agree. After exchanging things, the auctioneer was ready to take out the 3rd item when a voice suddenly said, I'll use 200 million God crystals and a top-grade god spirit range to exchange for one great primordial god rune fruit. Would a mortal friend agree? This was clearly against the rules of the auction, but the old man said nothing. To him, an extra deal meant extra 10% commission for the auction. No one answered. People realized that this owner of great primordial god rune fruit didn't lack god crystals. What a pity his great primordial god rune Tao fruit wasn't being auctioned. The Tao essence old man took out another jade box and said, "The third item is called Abstruse Light Thousand Dark Ship. It's an ancient extreme grade flying god artifact. It's the most suitable for crossing the void." Yemo breathed easy. If it was another primordial spirit artifact, he would be speechless. The extreme grade flying god artifact wasn't worth as much as primordial spirit artifact, nor cosmic lotus to Yemo, but to other divine emperors it was the same. The price soared rapidly, making even Yemo think if he should get some top forgery materials to forge extreme grade flying god artifact and sell them. Eventually, this ship was bought for 7 billion god crystals. Yemo realized by now that in those complete realms, it didn't seem very hard to get god crystals. The old man took out the fifth item and said, "Everyone, although this jade box is very small, it's actually a space jade box. There's a rune inside the jade box. It's left by an ancient powerful being. You're right, this time we're selling this rune. It's called Great Primordial God Rune." Hearing this, the scene completely erupted. The Great Primordial God Rune was renowned as one of the most terrifying god arts in the void, as it could ignore space-time. At the very extreme, no matter what space or time law you used against the Great Primordial God Rune, it would be useless. It was extremely hard to cultivate the Great Primordial God Rune, and much harder to reach great mastery. But everyone knew that if you reached great mastery, you would have this terrifying aura around you. Yemo breathed slowly. He didn't expect someone to be able to collect the Great Primordial God Rune and sell it. He knew how hard it was to collect the Great Primordial God Rune. After everyone calmed down, the old man explained for the first time, "I'll explain a little about this Great Primordial God Rune. Most people just know of its terror, but not its origin." Yemo also listened. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip, you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters." Chapter 2153 Fight Over Light Here. Chapter 2153 Fight Over Light Here. When everyone calmed down, the old man said, "It's said that the Great Primordial God Rune is created by the human race powerful being Great Primordial Divine Emperor. He could use a total of 9 God runes. Each rune could cross endless void. No one had ever escaped from his God rune. Some people think that one could shoot out countless Great Primordial God runes. That's wrong. The Great Primordial God Rune is different to other god arts. It's a god art that can only be inherited. After Great Primordial Divine Emperor died, he left his 9 Great Primordial God Rune Tao waves. If you saw the 9 god runes and learned it, then it's yours. If you only saw 1 god rune and learned it, then you can only use 1 Great Primordial God Rune. You wouldn't be able to learn the 2nd rune yourself just because you're talented. If you want to use the 2nd rune, you would have to find Great Primordial Divine Emperor or find the mark of the 2nd rune left behind by his descendants. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor felt the jade box and continued. Usually, the people who mastered Great Primordial God Rune would mark down his Great Primordial God Rune before dying. No matter after how many passings, the total number of Great Primordial God Rune is 9. It can only decrease, not increase. Hearing this, Yemo frowned. This was completely wrong. He saw 2 Great Primordial God Runes, and it wasn't left behind by Great primordial divine emperor. But now his third great primordial god rune was about to form. In some time, Yemo would be able to use 3 great primordial god runes. Going like this, in time, there would be even 90 great primordial god runes. This old man sighed. Even an ancient, powerful being like great primordial divine emperor would die to the hands of others. So, god art is just a mean, not the end result. Okay, back on topic. I have one great primordial god rune here. It's left behind by the great primordial divine emperor. Almost everyone guessed that the person with the great primordial god rune Tao fruits would try to buy the great primordial god rune at all costs. Those who wanted to buy the great primordial god rune too was also thinking about how to buy the great primordial god rune Tao fruits after buying the great primordial god rune. Yemo didn't even want to buy the great primordial god rune. Yemo knew that the old man clearly told the truth, but his 3-birth chant was so insane that it broke the law of the great primordial god rune. He can give rise to new, great primordial god runes. 1 billion god crystals and 1 top-grade god spirit range. The first bidder said, 1, 5 billion god crystals and 1 top-grade god spirit range. 2 billion god crystals. In less than 5 minutes, the price has risen to 2, 4 billion god crystals and 1 top-grade god spirit range. Yemo looked at the soaring price and didn't even care. He knew that even if the great primordial god rune was bought, people might not be able to learn it. Gongyang was an example. There were all those talented divine emperors in the god necropolis domain, but the 2 great primordial god rune still stayed in there for countless years. Yemo knew that if he didn't cultivate the 3-birth chant, it would be almost impossible for him to learn the great primordial god rune, much less derive more great primordial god runes. After another 15 minutes, the price set at 3, 4 billion god crystals and 1 top-grade god spirit range. Yemo knew that this price was too high. It was at most worth 300 million top-grade god crystals. The reason it was brought up to this price was because many people thought the great primordial god rune would turn into their god art after buying it. Yemo suspected that the seller sold the great primordial god rune probably because he couldn't learn it, and thus had no choice but to sell it. The auctioneer knew this, but he didn't say it clearly. He said god art was just a mean, and that was his hint. If the great primordial god rune could immediately turn into your god art after buying it, then even 34 billion wouldn't be expensive. No immortal friends are bidding. Then the great primordial god rune will be sold to you for 3, 4 billion and 1 top-grade god spirit range. The old man said. Many people suspected that this bidder was Yemo, who took out the great primordial god rune Tao fruit. When the scene calmed down, the Tao essence old man took out the next jade box. Yemo's spirit sense had been watching this old man. Although this old man said nothing, Yemo's heart shook. He knew it was light heart. Even though it was bound by the restrictions in the box, that ancient fire Tao wave of the light heart could still be sensed by Yemo. Yemo thought it would be taken out last, but it came out halfway. The old man raised the jade box and said, seriously, this is a true primordial spirit artifact called light heart. As soon as the old man said this, the scene had this murderous chi. Clearly, not just a few people came for the light heart. Yemo could even feel this killing chi inside his room. Light heart is also being placed here by a customer for auction. So your prices will be determined by the owner. I will now open the box and show everyone the light heart. As soon as the Tao essence old opened the box, an extremely intense light shot out. There were slivers of Tao waves in the light. Primordial material was terrifying indeed. This was Yemo's first time seeing primordial material. Little Blue immediately became restless and kept sending Yemo messages that he wanted the light heart. If Yi Mo didn't restrain him, he would have went out to take it. Yi Mo calmed Little Blue down and had decided to get the light heart no matter what. As soon as he got it, he would leave the void marketplace. Although the latter items would be even better, it was too dangerous to stay. Everyone start bidding. The Tao Essence Old Man said, 2 billion God crystals and 1 top-grade God Spirit range. The first bidder said. Yi Mo frowned. He only had 2 billion God crystals in total. By the looks of this, even if he accepted Xing Hong's help, he wouldn't be able to buy the light heart. 5 billion plus 2 top-grade God Spirit range. The second bidder sounded. 1 billion plus 1 extreme grade God Spirit range. 2 billion plus 1 extreme grade God Spirit range. The price soared like crazy. Yi Mo knew that if this continued, he wouldn't be able to buy it even at his max price. 1 billion God crystals, 1 extreme grade God Spirit range, and 1 yellow middle plum Tao fruit. When this bid appeared, the scene fell silent again. What was yellow middle plum? It was one of the 10 great spirit items. The value of just 1 yellow middle plum Tao fruit was no lower than light heart. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2155, Thinking of a Way to Leave. Chapter 2155, Thinking of a Way to Leave. He was planning to leave the void marketplace as soon as he got the light heart. He could use teleportation formation disc to leave at the city gates. He had already set things up. Then, he would keep using instant transmission and eventually fly away with his extreme grade flying magic artifact. Even the most powerful Tao Essence Divine Emperor wouldn't be able to stop him. It was because of this that Yi Mo dared to participate this auction, but now things didn't seem to go as he expected. Xing Hong said that there was no way there would be Primordial Essence Divine Emperor here, but how did this Primordial Essence Divine Emperor come? Even if he didn't reach Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, he was still a half Primordial Essence. Yi Mo didn't think he could get away from such person. He might not even be able to leave the void marketplace. Yi Mo didn't put his 2 yellow middle plum on the teleportation formation. He was thinking about how to leave the void marketplace. Just when the Tao Essence Old Man didn't know what to do, there was another sneer, do according to the rules before. Let the bidder teleport his things to the auction and let everyone see. Hearing this cold sneer, Yi Mo knew it was the seller. This person was another half Primordial Essence or Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. It was definitely this person who asked him to teleport the yellow middle plum to another place. Since he was the seller, why did he rebuke his rules? Did he want to annihilate him and take his 2 yellow middle plum? Wait, Yi Mo instantly realized what went wrong. His face looked extremely bad. His mind was completely occupied by the light heart that he didn't think about. The yellow middle plum was just picked. Just looking at the time marks on it, a divine emperor would be able to recognize it easily. If people saw that his yellow middle plum was just picked, it meant that he had yellow middle plum tree. This meant that he had 5-element world or even chaos world. Thinking about how he bid 2 great primordial god rune Tao fruits, the auction organizers were almost certain he had 5-element world. Yi Mo's heart sunk. He grew calmer and calmer. He knew that at this time, the slightest mistake would cause him to be gone. Although he knew they would find out, Yi Mo still took out 2 yellow middle plums and 1 billion god crystals and teleported it to the stage. He didn't care about the light heart anymore. He just kept throwing out formation flags. Yi Mo was going to set up a powerful formation flag. He used all his top formation flags. Now, wasn't it time to save materials? Other than this, he was going to completely separate this space using formation from the formation of the auction grounds. At this moment, Yimo's yellow middle plums were teleported to the stage. Almost everyone was looking at the two plums. There were exclamations of shock. After seeing it, everyone knew that they were looking at the real yellow middle plum. 5 minutes later, Yimo stopped setting up formation and said in an icy voice, "The yellow middle plum has been verified for 5 minutes. I believe everyone know if it's real or fake. Why hasn't the auctioneer given me the light heart?" The old man seemed to have just reacted and said, awkwardly, "Your immortal friends, due to the yellow middle plum, I forgot about it." Then he didn't pretend anymore and teleported the light heart to him. The instant it arrived, Yimo sent it into his golden page world immediately. He knew that the light heart was real. What he needed to do now was think about how to leave the auction. The yellow middle plum was taken, and many people knew that this divine emperor not only had the yellow middle plum, but also the yellow middle plum tree, and even a 5-element world. At this moment, the two yellow middle plum appeared before the skinny old man. The old man looked at one, and his eyes shot out hot beams. He didn't know how many years it had been since he had such intense excitement. He placed down the yellow middle plum and said, "This person indeed has the 5-element world and yellow middle plum tree. Grand Divine Emperor, this thing has spilled out. I believe in just a few days, the void marketplace would be the world of primordial essence divine emperors." One Tao essence divine emperor said worriedly. The skinny old man thought for a long while before saying, "If it wasn't that Luo Juansha old bastard, we can attack now, but now we need to settle him first. Send someone to invite him over. Tell him I, Pan Yuan, have important business with him. I believe he will understand." Yes, this Tao essence divine emperor immediately left. Yimo was still in the room and didn't leave. He barricaded all chi from his room and actually took out a pill cauldron and began pill concoction. In just 15 minutes, 6 black pills were made. Unlike other pills, these pills had no good aroma. It only had violent chi. This was created by him, Tao restriction pill. It could burn his god essence and allow his cultivation level to rise a few levels. However, this pill had very potent side effects. Yimo only dared to use it as he had the chaos tree. Yimo immediately ate a Tao restriction pill. Powerful Tao waves flowed. Yimo even felt that if he wanted, he could palm all the divine emperors in the auction to powder. But Yimo knew this was an illusion. His power definitely increased, but not as much as he thought. Yimo didn't use the pill to increase his power and charge out. Even if he took another pill, that would be suicide. He immediately took out the golden arrow of divine exterminations and shot out 7. He had refined 6 of them to 99th level of restriction and 1 to the 100th level. However, forcing it to not shoot far and tear the void in a certain range still made Yimo receive strong backlash. Chapter 2156 Blue, Like Morning Sky Evolution. Chapter 2156 Blue, Like Morning Sky Evolution. Sister Bingyu, I'm already abstruse immortal peak stage. There was such a good immortal marrow pond, but that Mu Wushuang didn't take it away. He's really a good person. Sister Bingyu, why don't you cultivate anymore? Zhen Bingyu smiled, because I'm an immortal king peak stage. If I don't reach immortal spirit herb, cultivating would just condense my immortal essence. With my talent, it would be a bit hard to reach immortal monarch without monarch will pill. Yimo, you're AI peak stage now. Let's leave and wait till you reach great unity immortal first. But Sister Bingyu, I don't have great unity pill. Yimo looked at the immortal marrow pond unwillingly. This place was countless times better than using immortal crystals. Zhen Bingyu smiled. Don't worry, let's go. Don't worry about Great Unity Pill. Zhen Bingyu's Great Unity Pills were given to her by Yi Mo. She didn't expect that Yi Mo would be able to use them to have divine damnation here. Yi Mo looked at the immortal marrow pond. Definitely not. Although there aren't many people on this level, there are still people. Once the divine damnation draws people's attention, it would be hard for us to come back here and cultivate. Zhen Bingyu quickly said. The two left the immortal marrow pond. Zbayu was planning to take Yimo to find an open space for divine damnation, but after just going for a few hours, rumbles of lightning caught Zhen Bingyu's attention. Then, Yimo saw the lightning too. Sister Bingyu, is someone having divine damnation? Zhen Bingyu nodded. Yes, it's also Immortal King, divine damnation. Someone is breaking through to Immortal King. Have a look. It would help you reaching Great Unity Immortal. Yimo followed Zhen Bingyu and came up to the divine damnation grounds. Before Zhen Bingyu finished talking, Yimo called out in surprise and joy, _Ani. Zhen Bingyu recognized that it was Su Jingwen having the divine damnation. Protecting her was Tang Bei Wei. They looked for these two before, but weren't able to find them. But now they met through this divine damnation. Your Yimo, Tang Bei Wei was watching outside nervously and immediately noticed Zhen Bingyu and Yimo. Tang Bei Wei and Yimo immediately charged up to each other and embraced. Yimo, you not only ascended, but are also abstruse Immortal Peak stage. This is so great. Tang Bei Wei knew how much her brother liked Yimo. Seeing Yimo safe, she was extremely happy. Rumble, a few lightning arcs came struck down, interrupting them. Tang Bei Wei just woke up and quickly said, Yimo, brother would be very happy to know you're here. Sister Jingwen is having her Immortal King divine damnation. After she finishes, we'll talk. Yimo nodded and grabbed Zhen Bingyu's hand, saying, Sister Bingyu, this is my auntie Tang Bei Wei. The one having divine damnation is my auntie Jingwen. Zhen Bingyu smiled. I know Sister Bei Wei. Chapter 2157, Melt Murder Dao Spear. Chapter 2157, Melt Murder Dao Spear. Boss, I've reached divine flame. Give me that shitty spear. I'll melt it immediately. Little Blue's excited voice sounded. Okay. Yi Mo immediately threw the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue. Yi Mo knew the Murder Dao Spear was very powerful. He was certain that if he spirit controlled a few more levels of restriction, it would be very useful even against Dao Essence Divine Emperor. However, he was worried about the spear. However, when he threw the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue, the Murder Dao Spear was no longer tame like before. A terrifying and powerful murderous intent erupted that instantly broke free from Little Blue's bindings and disappeared into the heavens. Yi Mo was very shocked. Little Blue was a divine flame now, and yet the Murder Dao Spear could still break free. He gave the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue to burn for nearly a year and removed some impure qi, but it didn't affect the Murder Dao Spear at all. Didn't that mean the reason the Murder Dao Spear was burned was because it was willing? Now that blue like morning sky reached divine flame and Murder Dao Spear knew danger. That's why it fled. Boss, there's a spear spirit inside the spear. I didn't notice it, and it got away. Let me catch it. Little Blue felt very embarrassed. Yi Mo waved his hand. No need. Yi Mo grabbed in the void, and the missing Murder Dao Spear appeared in his hand again, in his golden page world. Even if the Murder Dao Spear was 10 times stronger, he wouldn't be able to get away. The Murder Dao Spear jumped around uneasily in Yimo's hands. Yimo's spirit sense didn't notice Spear's spirit, but the restlessness and murderous intent was seeping out. Really amazing. I've spirit controlled the first level of restriction, and yet I didn't know there's a spear spirit hiding in here. Hee hee, Yimo sneered. Clearly, The spear spirit had no good intentions hiding there. If it had good intentions, it would recognize him as master, and he would know the existence of the spear spirit. No wonder he always felt uneasy about the murder Dao spear. But then Yi Mo immediately noticed something was wrong. If the spear spirit was really that powerful, then it should know about him buying the light heart. It should know that if he got the light heart, Little Blue would reach divine flame and it would be melted. The murder Dao spear shouldn't have helped him escape. Little Blue, never mind, just melt the spear first. Yi Mo didn't know what was inside the spear, and let Little Blue try again. The blue like morning sky swept around the murder Dao spear this time, and it couldn't escape. Under 2 layers of binding from Yi Mo and Little Blue, there was no way it could escape. The divine flame carried piercing blue flames, and the impure qi on the surface was immediately melted. There was a cracking sound, and this extremely violent killing intent ravaged in the flames as though it would break free from blue like morning sky and Yi Mo and charge out of the golden page world. Knowing this, Yi Mo and blue like morning sky worked together to suppress this killing intent. Those killing intent and killing qi eventually formed Dao waves. Each one of these Dao waves were extremely strong. It was as though any one of them could easily kill a Dao essence divine emperor. Boss, I understand now. It's not a spear spirit, it's murder Dao. Little Blue's voice sounded. Yi Mo asked in confusion, what is murder Dao? This spear is definitely a primordial spirit artifact, and an extremely powerful one amongst primordial spirit artifact. It was born to kill divine emperors. Countless divine emperors have died to this spear, and the impure qi on it are the Dao waves of all the dead divine emperors. This spear would eventually slay its master. Countless masters have been slayed by it. Each time it kills a divine emperor, it would suck their essence blood and Dao waves. These essence blood and Dao waves formed murder Dao in the spear. Yi Mo didn't doubt at all that a lot of masters of the spear had been slayed. Which Dao vindication powerful being weren't extremely talented and confident in themselves. How could they believe that they would be slayed by a spear? Even Yi Mo wouldn't believe he would be killed by a spear he spirit controlled. But Yi Mo trusted his instincts extremely high ever since he cultivated the 3-birth chant. The murder Dao spear gave him a bad feeling, and that's why he was so adamant on destroying it. Otherwise, with how the murder Dao spear helped him twice, there was no way Yi Mo would melt it. It has extremely terrifying restriction, and if it is to be fused into Zisu's power would be no weaker than murder Dao spear. However, we must refine the murder Dao inside the spear and destroy it. This would take many years. Little Blue said. Yi Mo fell silent for a while. The restrictions of the spear are primordial restrictions. Zisu restrictions can be changed with upgrades. Just refine out the murder Dao in the spear, and I'll seal it. Then you help me upgrade Zisu. Yi Mo knew that even as a divine flame, it wouldn't be easy for Little Blue to melt the murder Dao spear completely. So when Little Blue began work, Yi Mo left the Golden Page world and released Space-Time Boat. He tried to get out of this dark void as quickly as possible. The void here was pitch black and could block spirit sense. Yi Mo's spirit sense could only stretch out tens of thousands of kilometers, but this was enough for Yi Mo. He chose a direction and charged forward with full speed. With this void marketplace marker, Yi Mo didn't believe he would get lost in the void. There were too many races in the void and too many realms. If he found any realm, he would be able to ask about the void marketplace. Chapter 2158, Powerful Rizal. Chapter 2158, Powerful Rizal. A few days later, when those purple liquid completely fused into Zisu, Zisu became ordinary looking. It seemed like an extremely ordinary purple sword floating in a blue flame, but its aura didn't disappear. It still circulated around Zisu. At this moment, Yi-Mo couldn't help at all, and even Little Blue was pushed away. The aura around Zisu kept changing, and even Yi-Mo couldn't tell what was going on. Another few hours later, Zisu suddenly made a crisp sound, and the aura completely disappeared. It truly became an ordinary purple sword. Yi-Mo looked dazedly at this purple sword, completely not expecting Zisu that fused with Murder Dao's spear would look this ordinary. It had no killing chi, no blade ray. Yi-Mo grabbed this sword into his hand, and this extremely familiar yet strange feeling came up his heart. As a forgery divine, he couldn't even tell what level this sword was. This wasn't an extreme grade god artifact, nor a primordial spirit artifact. Yi-Mo suddenly had this realization. Murder Dao's spear was a primordial material that grew into the Murder Dao spear. It had all the primordial and royal chi. However, he used divine flame to melt the spear and fuse it into Zisu. This was like his cultivation method, whether it was 3-birth chants, sever Dao, and then vindicate Dao, or body refinement cultivations, nirvana. It was the same logic. It severed all the sharp chi and became something that truly fused the Dao waves of the world. It didn't have the sharp chi, but it contained its power inside. Yi-Mo learned that his Dao was contained in this too. If one day he reached primordial essence, his chi would return to ordinary just like a mortal. Yi-Mo's mind flashed across all the divine emperors or immortal emperors he had seen. Even if some of their chi was collected, no one could completely reach the level of an ordinary person. Suddenly, his heart was shook. He thought of someone. It was that fortune teller he saw in the small world, Master Tianze. He suspected he saw that old man on Luo Yu continent, but he didn't think of that much at the time. Now that he learned this sliver of Dao wave, he immediately thought of that old Daoist. Tianze had such chi, that extremely ordinary chi that seemed to have fused into everything. Realizing this, Yi-Mo was shocked. If Tianze was really as he thought, could he accidentally leave behind the 5-element stool? After a long while, Yi-Mo shook his head. He couldn't think through this, and didn't want to keep thinking about it. He subconsciously started to spirit control Zisu. This was the first time that he needed to spirit control Zisu again after upgrading it. When Yi-Mo's spirit sense seeped into Zisu, he found that Zisu's restriction wasn't like Murder Dao Spear's restrictions. It became 9 completely new restrictions. When Yi-Mo started on the first level, he found there were 9 chained restrictions inside. From this, it was clear that the second level of restriction had 18 chained restrictions. At this rate, the 9th level had 81 chained restrictions. Yi-Mo knew now that Zisu was probably a level higher than the Murder Dao Spear. Wasn't that beyond primordial spirit artifact, then? Wait, beyond primordial spirit artifact is divine artifact. That is a chaos treasure. Even if Zisu is a bit stronger than Murder Dao Spear, it can't be divine treasure. Divine treasure is born of chaos, but he upgraded Zisu. Yi-Mo didn't think about Zisu's level anymore. He found that Zisu didn't disappoint him. Zisu was his magic artifact and upgraded by him, so it was much easier to spirit control than the Murder Dao Spear. Restrictions were spirit controlled, and Yi-Mo immersed into this. 10 years later, Yi-Mo suddenly got up. He found that he only used 10 years to completely spirit control Zisu. He had finished all 9 levels of restrictions. Until now, Yi-Mo finally realized Zisu's power. He was certain that if he fought with Dao Essence Divine Emperor again, even if he just used Zisu, he would be no weaker than them. If he was in that auction room again, Yi-Mo was confident he could hack open the space there. This was confidence brought to him by Zisu. From now on, he finally had a good offensive magic artifact. He didn't need to use Zisu that was lesser than a low-grade god artifact to fight with other people's top-grade god artifact. Yemo waved his hand, and Zisu appeared in his Dantian. Zisu no longer needed to be put in storage ring or golden page world. As long as it was nourished in his god essence, it would keep improving. Yemo was feeling great. He grabbed that red murder, Dao Qi. As soon as Yemo's spirit sense touched it, he felt this terrifying, violent killing intent. Although he learned a sliver of Dao wave from Zisu's upgrade, his real cultivation level was still just a Dao nourishment divine emperor. That terrifying murder, Dao Qi, almost twisted Yemo's sea of consciousness. Yemo had never seen such terrifying murder, Dao Qi. Little Blue was right. Murder Dao Spear killed countless divine emperors and devoured their killing intent to form this red murder Dao Qi. This murder Dao was Murder Dao Spear's Dao. If Yemo didn't fuse Murder Dao Spear into Zisu, then perhaps one day Murder Dao Spear would vindicate Dao and became the #1 slaughter weapon of the universe. Yemo sighed and continued to seal this murder Dao Qi. He felt he couldn't control it yet. The slaughtering intent inside was too terrifying. Yemo grabbed that gray Qi again, and when he scanned his spirit sense in, all sorts of impure Qi came rushing it all. Yemo didn't kick them away this time. He knew that the Qi inside came from the ancient powerful beings who died to murder Dao Spear. As a solo cultivator who had no sect nor master, these information were extremely important to him. If he organized them and cast away the useless information, the rest would be very useful to him. Yemo put away Little Blue, and the golden page world fell silent again. Everyone had their own thing to do, and Yemo was immersed in organizing the information. A few years later, that gray Qi disappeared, and Yemo remembered the useful information. All sorts of God spirit items, Dao fruit, and chaos spirit items, primordial materials, pill recipes, forgery knowledge, formation, runes, Dao vindication pathways. It wasn't just knowledge that appeared in his mind, but also learnings of Dao waves and God art that only came with time. Yemo was extremely surprised and joyful. He didn't expect that gust of gray Qi to be this precious. It was no lesser in value than that purple primordial material. He lacked these things the most. Otherwise, he would have heard about the light heart. From these information, Yemo soon knew where he was. He was in a place called the Dark Void. This was a region of void between the Void Marketplace, Demon Realm, and Phoenix Realm. He got another more important information from someone called Yuan. The life goal of this person was to find Meng Zhan and rob his 3 pages of primordial golden pages and go to a place in the void to collect a gust of chaos Qi. Yemo didn't know where Meng Zhan died, but his 3 golden pages were in his hands now. Chaos Qi was an essence Qi of the world that was born when the world was first created. Yuan didn't have chaos world, so he couldn't collect the Qi. That's why he wanted to kill Meng Zhan. However, he died to the murder Dao Spear somehow. Yemo didn't move. He took out a jade bead, and in just a few seconds, he printed a vast void map into the bead. Inside was a golden spot, and that was the ball of chaos Qi in Yuan's memories. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2159, Dao Actualization. Chapter 2159, Dao Actualization in the Dark Void. Yemo sped through like crazy with his space-time boat. Chaos Qi was extremely precious to other people, and to him, it was like his life. This was because he not only had the Chaos World, but also Chaos Tree. According to the information left behind by Yuan, the Chaos Qi was sitting in the depth of the Dark Void. The Dark Void was boundless, and had no god spirit chi, nor any precious things, therefore rarely did people come here. Yuan was trapped in here, unable to leave, and thus after staying for a few 100,000 years, he found a chaos chi ball. Yuan resisted his excitement and didn't touch it. Instead, he marked it. He thought that if he couldn't find a way out in another 10,000 years, he would break the ball and get as much as he can. Yuan knew that chaos chi balls would slowly dissipate in the void if opened and not taken in time. What Yuan didn't expect was that he was extremely lucky and only used a few 100 years to find a way out and came to the border demon realm. Despite this, Yuan didn't go out immediately. He continued to map the dark void, fearing he would never be able to find the chaos chi once he left. After another few millennia of searching, he completely mastered how to judge direction in the dark voice. Only then did he leave the dark void. He had decided to use all means necessary to rob a chaos item. Even if he couldn't get the 3 golden pages, he would find another chaos item to take away the chaos chi ball. However, he never came back ever since he went out. He died to the murder Dao spear. If Yi Mo didn't melt the murder Dao spear, no one would ever know this secret again. A few years later, Yi Mo stopped at a place no different to everywhere else. However, Yi Mo knew that Yuan said the ball of chaos chi was here. The darkness here was different to other places. There was a sliver of spirit in this darkness. It was extremely subtle, and if one didn't watch carefully, one wouldn't notice at all. Yi Mo was certain that if he didn't get news from Yuan, even if he went past here tens of times, he wouldn't notice it. He didn't know how many times Yuan went past here, but Yi Mo knew that Yuan was definitely much stronger than him. Yi Mo carefully went towards the region with spirit. 3 days later, Yi Mo suddenly saw a milky white aura appear before him. Yi Mo caught this indescribable chi. Yi Mo rejoiced like crazy. He was certain the information was true. The milky white aura was where the chaos chi ball was. The next moment, Yi Mo put away the space-time boat and came next to a huge white cocoon. Chaos chi was sealed by the white cocoon. Yi Mo could still feel the intense chaos chi. The next moment, Yi Mo put away the space-time boat and came up to the huge white cocoon. Chaos chi was bound by the cocoon, but Yi Mo could still feel the chaos chi there. This dense chaos chi was ever more pure than the Golden Page World's chaos chi. When he first got it, Yi Mo didn't hesitate at all and tore open this cocoon and went inside. At the same time, he opened the Golden Page World, wanting to send all the chi inside. As soon as Yi Mo went in the white cocoon, that world creation grand force struck into his will. Yi Mo instantly lost consciousness. That white cocoon exploded and countless soft chaos chi wrapped Yi Mo. A 3-meter-tall green tree suddenly rose above Yi Mo's head and swept in the white chaos chi like crazy. All Yi Mo's senses had been barricaded at this moment. The milky white chaos chi wasn't swept into the Golden Page World like Yi Mo imagined. It was devoured by the rose that rose from his head. The chaos tree devoured the chaos chi like crazy and grew like crazy. Waves of Dao chi circulated around Yi Mo. Yi Mo's consciousness gradually fused into the endless world creation Dao. Great Dao had no mark, no need for sharp edges. Time flew by as the chaos tree grew, and Yi Mo was in enlightenment. Meanwhile, the chaos chi ball kept reducing. This ball of chaos chi was too big. Even after a few decades, the white chi was still circulating around Yi Mo. The chaos tree had grown to 100 meters tall. Its branches covered this region of space. Feeling that Yi Mo was learning Dao in the chaos chi, the chaos tree also seeped out some Dao waves to help Yi Mo learn Dao. Yi Mo was completely immersed in his enlightenment of his Tao. The little enlightenment coming from upgrading Zisu was now infinitely expanded, and it became clearer and clearer before forming his Tao. Barriers were being torn. Yimo didn't even realize he reached Tao actualization. His enlightenment kept increasing. However, he didn't have any God spirit chi to help him. The first to notice this was Small Ginseng. Small Ginseng was very sensitive to natural spirit items. When Yimo opened the Golden Page world, although he couldn't send in the Chaos Chi, a part of it was taken into the Golden Page world. Small Ginseng woke up and immediately left the Golden Page world, coming outside. When he saw the endless milky white Chaos Chi, he was dumbfounded. How could Small Ginseng not know the preciousness of the Chaos Chi? He was immediately going to draw it into the Golden Page world, but then he saw that vast Chaos tree and the extremely dense life Chi emitting from it. He didn't need to do anything, and his broken arm visibly grew back. Such powerful life force, Small Ginseng amazed. He could see the trouble his boss had. If he didn't provide his boss with God crystals or God spirit range, boss's enlightenment might stop due to a lack of God's spirit source. If this enlightenment ended, it would be a huge pity. Small Ginseng gave up drawing the Chaos Chi into the Golden Page world and quickly threw out Yimo's God crystals and set up spirit gathering formation. Small Ginseng's formation skills weren't bad, but even if he didn't know anything, he just needed to throw the God crystals next to Yimo, and it would be enough for Yimo 1 billion God crystals stacked around Yimo. But Small Ginseng was still worried. He dragged that extreme grade God spirit range next to Yimo. After doing all these, Small Ginseng breathed easy and started to think about gathering the dispersed Chaos Chi into the Golden Page world. Small Ginseng's power was too weak and could only gather some. More was dispersing. This ball of Chaos Chi was just too big. The Chaos tree had grown taller than 300 meters. Yimo and the Chaos tree devoured the Chaos Chi faster and faster. Small Ginseng saw the God crystals rapidly deplete, and even the God spirit range started to deplete. He became very worried. Just when he wanted to bring the rest of the God spirit ranges all out, he heard Yimo say, "No need, Small Ginseng. My enlightenment has reached its extreme. Even if I have God's spirit range, I wouldn't be able to reach Tao Essence Divine Emperor." Yimo then opened his eyes. His Tao wave Chi stealthed and dissipated inside his body. With the help of the Chaos Tree and Chaos Chi, he reached Tao actualization peak stage. He's just one step from Tao Essence, but Yimo knew that this little step can be an impassable ravine. If he didn't learn the Tao of being ordinary from upgrading Zisu, then even if he reached Tao actualization, he would never be able to reach Tao actualization peak stage. Boss's Tao actualization peak stage. Small Ginseng couldn't see Yimo's cultivation level, but Yimo said it. The Chaos Tree became ethereal and soon immersed into Yimo's Dantian. Yimo sent the rest of the Chaos Chi into the Golden Page world and said, "Yes, I'm Tao actualization peak stage. Good thing your arm is repaired now. We can go out." Although he was Tao actualization peak stage, Yimo's powerful strength made him believe he had the power to kill Tao Essence Masters. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. He didn't even dare to bullshit to an ordinary immortal friends from the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower, much less a Void Marketplace Merchant Tower, Tao Essence Divine Emperor. I don't dare to. I just saw that pill divine. Ye came from the divine Tao realm. That's why I wanted to greet him. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor quickly said. Xing Hong ignored him and asked Yimo, "Pill divine, Yi, do you need me to help kill this bastard?" His tone sounded like it was as simple as killing an insect. The great sun, God Mountain, Tao Essence Divine Emperor heard this and shook. Killing him like that, this was too cruel. But he knew that the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower had the right to say such words. Yimo smiled. Thank you, Brother Xing, but no need for now. Then he looked at this Tao Essence Divine Emperor. You've greeted me, already you can piss off. In time, I will go vice Great Sun God Mountain with Xiaoyan. By the way, Great Sun God Mountain has a Great Sun God Peak. I plan to use that as a urine kettle. Hearing this, the Tao Essence Divine Emperor's face went green, but he didn't dare to say anything. He could only forbear his fury and walk away. He swore that if he saw Yi Mo alone, he would turn them to dust. Humph! Xing Hong sneered. Yi Mo smiled to Xing Hong. Brother Xing, there seems to be a sudden increase in people in the Void Marketplace. There's more humans than before, too. What's going on? Seeing this, Xing Hong smiled and said, You should know this. The Tao Fruit Tower is about to open. Many people came to enter it. Of course, if Pill Divine, Yi needs a spot, then I have it covered. Yimo's cultivation level was no weaker than Tao Essence Divine Emperor. He really didn't care if there was top Tao fruit in the tower, so he quickly waved his hand. I don't need it for now. If I really do, then I'll ask Brother Xing for help. Yi Mo didn't care about this spot, but Wang Nanshuang and them on the side were dazed. She almost wanted to charge up and grab Yi Mo's shirt and ask him if he was crazy. They all came for the Tao Fruit Tower spot. Even if they couldn't go in, they would want to exchange for a Tao fruit from inside. Due to this, they brought the most precious things in their sect. Xing Hong looked at Ji Shi and the two other women next to her and smiled. Okay, Pill Divine, ye do your things first. After you're done, I'll come invite Pill Divine ye. Then Xing Hong left and disappeared into the crowd. Seeing this, Wang Nanshuang suddenly saluted with his fists. Pill Divine, ye, you go discuss with Ruoshi. I will go back, carrot the rest tower, first with martial sister Yueha. Wang Nanshuang dragged the other Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor away. Ji Shi knew what her martial uncle meant, but she sighed. It's not her first day knowing Yi Mo. No matter what she say, Yi Mo wasn't going to give the immortal goddess sacred sect a Tao fruit tower spot. Even if she sacrificed her body, Yi Mo wouldn't agree. Plus, she wouldn't do that. Chapter 2162, I'm not free. Chapter 2162, I'm not free. Martial brother, ye listen to me first. I was planning to give that gourd to Martial's sister Shaoran, but something happened in between. Before I could give it to her, you took Martial's sister Xiaoman away. Ji Shi's tone was extremely genuine. Yi Mo knew this. Xiaoyun said Ji. She was going to give her something, but Xiaoyun missed him too much and didn't care. Even so, Yi Mo interrupted Ji Shi. Just tell me where the gourd is now. I've left the gourd with my master. I don't know how long it will take for me to go back from the Void Marketplace. I don't even know if I can go back. I was afraid you would go to the immortal goddess sacred sect to ask for the gourd, so I left it there. If I knew you came to the Void Marketplace, I would bring it. Ji Shi sighed. She was telling the truth. That half gourd had no use to her. She didn't need to offend Yi Mo for it. Yi Mo's heart surged with disappointment. He got up. He didn't have the mood to talk with Ji Shi anymore. Seeing Yi Mo get up, Ji Shi got up too. Martial brother, ye thank you. Yi Mo knew that she was thanking him for saving her life on the life-crippling bridge. But Ji Shi knew Xiaoyan was his wife and still didn't try to help her. Yi Mo's impression of her was extremely bad. Seeing Yi Mo couldn't be bothered to talk to her, Ji Shi said dejectedly, Martial brother, Yi, how is Martial sister Xiaoyan? Yi Mo stopped and turned around saying coldly, Ji Shi, that's not something you need to care about. Just give me that gourd. If I go back to the divine Tao realm and find out you're lying one single bit, then I will annihilate immortal goddess sacred sect before the great sun god mountain does. Then Yi-Mo walked out and disappeared from this immortal rest tower. Yi-Mo just walked out of the tower, and an extremely pretty goddess bowed. "May I ask if you're Pill Divine, Yi Master?" Yi-Mo looked at her in confusion. He didn't know her at all. Then Yi-Mo thought of Xing Hong and immediately said, "I am." The goddess quickly said, "Xing Hong, invite Pill Divine Master to chat at the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. I was ordered to wait here for you." "Okay, lead the way." Yi-Mo was planning to go vice Xing Hong. He wasn't scared of them, but it was good to connect with them. Seeing Yi-Mo so compliant, the goddess said in surprise and joy, "Thank you, Pill Divine. Yi, this way, please." Wait, they were suddenly stopped, an emotionless voice. At the same time, a man with blue, lethal light on his face appeared before the two. His hair was messy, and he was Tao Essence Divine Emperor Peak Stage. He seemed very messy, but his icy, cold, killing intent could be felt by all those around him. Yi-Mo didn't move. He knew this person. When he acted as a Tao Essence Divine Emperor coming back to the Void Marketplace, this guy was looking for him. He didn't hear Pill Divine Yi? The Tao Essence Divine Emperor stared at Yi-Mo for a while before asking. Yi-Mo answered plainly, "Yes, I am. I'm Qiao He. I've been waiting for you in the Void Marketplace for 100 years. Please come with me." As he spoke, his powerful killing intent receded, but his tone was still icy cold. It was as though that because he told Yi-Mo to go, Yi-Mo should go with him, no questions asked. "I'm Pill Divine. Yi indeed, but why should I go with you?" Yi-Mo asked back. Hearing this, Qiao He's killing intent soared. As his killing intent soared, a burst of blue circulated around his body. Even he didn't expect that Yi-Mo dared to argue back. Yi-Mo was already annoyed that he didn't get the gourd, and now Qiao He dared to act so cocky in front of him. Facing Qiao He's powerful lethal force, Yi-Mo went in instead and smashed out his domain. Yi-Mo's domain was about to become a realm, and with his spirit sense domain on top, Qiao He was pushed back tens of steps even though he was Tao Essence Peak Stage. Qiao He's lethal force domain crumbled under Yi-Mo's domain. Qiao He looked at Yi-Mo in disbelief. He completely didn't expect this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor could so easily break his Tao Essence domain. This wasn't him attacking at full power, but he could tell that even if he attacked with full power, he wouldn't be able to get an advantage with Yi-Mo. Was this Tao Actualization Pill Divine only a Tao Actualization? Yi-Mo ignored Qiao He and walked up to that scared pretty goddess and said, "Ignore this cocky bastard. Lead the way." "Okay." The goddess suppressed her shock and quickly led in front. "Pill Divine, wait." Qiao He came up. Yi-Mo no longer had his patience and looked coldly at Qiao. "What, do you want to fight? Then go." "No, Pill Divine, our palace lord is inviting you to be a guest. Please." His tone was much calmer this time. Yi-Mo said without hesitation, "Tell your pie I have no time." Then Yi-Mo sped up, and the goddess sped up. Seeing Yi-Mo ignore him, Qiao He's face went blue for a while, but he controlled himself. Instead, he followed Yi-Mo to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. "Pill Divine, please come in." Xing Hong greeted up before Yi-Mo even walked in. Xing Hong invited Yi-Mo into the Merchant Tower's luxurious guest hall and told the goddesses to bring the best immortal fruit and immortal tea. Yi-Mo drank the tea and aroma circulated nonstop. The aroma could clear up one's sea of consciousness. "Pill Divine Yi, this is the best Snow Ripple tea from Snow Ripple Lake. If Pill Divine, Yi likes it, I'll give you some." Seeing Yi-Mo seemingly like this tea, Xing Hong immediately smiled and said, "Then thank you, Brother Xing." Did you find me to give me some immortal tea, or is it for something else? Yi Emo didn't have the mood to waste time here. He wanted to find a place to rest, and then ask about the abyssal realm. Xing Hong smiled, awkwardly. Pill divine, ye probably knows what I want. Chapter 2163 Spot Distribution Gathering. Chapter 2163 Spot Distribution Gathering. Although Yi Emo looked down on what Xing Hong said, he still asked in shock, "There's actually halfway primordial essence masters who came to the auction?" Xing Hong sighed. "Yeah, and there wasn't just one. Luckily, the auction side had a halfway primordial essence master too, or things would have been dangerous. The one who bought the light heart is probably a demon race divine emperor. He hid his power to Tao essence, but when he tore open the space in the room, he exposed his power." Yi Emo nodded. It was hard for even halfway primordial essence to tear open the void marketplace space. But since the buyer ran away, he was at most a halfway primordial essence. If it was a primordial essence divine emperor, he wouldn't need to run away. Xing Hong clearly didn't have the mood to keep talking about the light heart. He took out a jade card for Yi Emo and said, "Pill divine, Yi, this is the jade card for the biggest immortal rest tower of our void marketplace merchant tower. If you use this to enter void star immortal rest tower, you can choose any room to go in." Yi Emo quickly took the jade card and said, "Thank you, Brother Xing. I do have a few things to ask Brother Xing." Xing Hong was in a good mood and quickly said, "Just ask me whatever you need, Pill Divine Yi. I'll tell you whatever I know." I heard Brother Xing say before that the Tao Fruit Tower was about to open. How much time is there left? Yi Emo didn't want to go in the Tao Fruit Tower, but he wanted to buy some Tao fruits outside. With his pill concoction capabilities, it wasn't very hard. Hearing Yi Emo ask about the Tao Fruit Tower again, Xing Hong immediately said, "There's 3 months till the Tao Fruit Tower opens. There's a lot of things before it opens." Yi Emo nodded. "I know, you told me last time. There will be a God rank and Tao rank challenge." That's right. On the Void Marketplace God, rank square, there will be 2 battle stages for the challenges. The challenge for them hasn't begun, but the distribution for the different races is about to begin. At that time, the powerful beings of all the races will gather together and discuss the distribution of the Tao Fruit Tower spots. Xing Hong said, "How many spots does each race have? Does it need to be redistributed each time the Tao Fruit Tower opens?" Yi Emo asked in shock. He thought the spots were distributed already. Xing Hong said, "Of course, but you might have understood wrong. This distribution isn't to take out all the spots of the races and redistribute them. It's redistribution of the extra ones. For example, the human race was once very strong and had 30 spots to enter the Tao Fruit Tower. Later, the divine Tao realm was broken, and after a while, no human race powerful beings came to this distribution. Thus, there are extra spots. The most important thing is that this pill required 999 different types of immortal spirit herbs and God spirit herb. The main spirit herb is called Shaking Light Herb. It's not Chaos Herb nor Top God Spirit Herb, but its value is no lower than Chaos Herb. This herb must not be moved away. It can't see light. If it was moved or put in light, it would wither within 15 minutes. This means that even if the pill could be made, it must be made within 15 minutes. The Shaking Light Herb took 10,000 years to mature. More important, it would only mature if it was watered with 100-million-year-old God marrow. How much would that be for 10,000 years? Other people thought that if these conditions are met, the pill could be made, but Yi Emo knew this wasn't the case. Even if these spirit herb and God spirit herbs were mixed together, it still lacked something. It wasn't a God spirit herb. It was life force. It wasn't ordinary life force, but chaos life force. Only he had such life force. Only the Chaos Tree's chaos life force could ensure that the pill was concocted. How could Yi Mo take such business? Even if there was the shaking light herb, Yi Mo would reject without hesitation. These thoughts spun rapidly in his head. Then Yi Mo sneered at Qiao. Sorry, ask for someone else powerful. You've been in the void marketplace for more than 100 years, and you want me to concoct the shaking light soul refining pill to save someone with a loosened soul. Even if your palace lord has heaven-shocking power to preserve that person from dying, that person can't be saved. Do as you please. Hearing this, Qiao, he was instead very surprised and joyful. He knelt down in front of Yi Mo and said, "Please help Pill Divine Yi. My palace lord has 3 shaking light herb." He invited 2 of the top pill divines, but they had to rely on the palace lord to provide the recipe. You can imagine the result. There's only 1 shaking light herb left. If Pill Divine, you don't help, then no one can concoct such pill. Yi Mo didn't expect a Tao Essence Divine Emperor Peak Stage would kneel down in front of all these people on the streets. Yi Mo frowned. "Get up and talk." "Yes." Qiao, he was very obedient this time, and got up immediately. Yi Mo didn't have a good feeling. Qiao, he was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor Peak Stage, and was willing to kneel to him. Didn't that mean the Palace Lord Wasa? Primordial Essence Divine Emperor? If a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor thought he could concoct the pill, how can he get away? Although he had the means to kill Tao Essence Divine Emperor, it wasn't enough to protect himself in the universe. "Qiao," he said, "our palace lord said if someone can concoct the shaking light pill, he's willing to give 10 extreme grade god spirit range, 10 billion god crystals, and 100 drops of 100 million year god marrow, 10 Tao fruits, and your selection of 3 extreme grade god artifacts. You can even ask for primordial spirit artifacts." Hearing this payment, Yi Mo took in a cold breath. He had always thought he was wealthy, but compared to this offer, he was a beggar. There was this many things. How could he reject it? This was a test of heart. If he wanted to concoct pills, he would have to use the Chaos Tree life force. If he didn't use the life force, it would be a waste too. Yi Mo hesitated for half a day and said, "I'm busy now, so I can't go with you." "Qiao," he said without hesitation, "It's fine. I'm not busy, I can follow you. When you have time, you can come with me. Pill Divine, ye can consider me an errand boy. If you need me to do anything, just tell me." Yi Mo thought about the upcoming Tao fruit distribution gathering and nodded. "Then stay with me. It might take 100 years. If you can't wait that long, then there's nothing I can do." The reason Yi Mo said 100 years was because he felt his power was a bit too low to go to a primordial essence's place to concoct pills. The reward was good, but he needed to be able to protect him. That meant that before he reached Tao Essence Divine Emperor, it was best that he didn't go. No matter how good the things were, he would need to have the life to use it. "Qiao," he quickly said, "no need. When our young mistress was BOM, her soul was loose." The palace lord immediately planted 3 shaking light herb and used Death Tao fruit to preserve her life for 1 million years. Now, it has been 10,000 years. It's a bit hard to preserve her soul from loosening, but it should last a few hundred years. Yi Mo sighed. This Guang Yuan palace lord was really wealthy. He could easily take out something like Death Tao fruit. Yi Mo nodded. "Okay, I am staying at Void Star Immortal Rest Tower for now. 9 days later I will be going to the God Rank Square for the Tao Fruit Tower Spot Distribution Gathering. Wait for me there." Yi Mo didn't intend to get Qiao He to help, but he was Tao Essence Peak Stage. He would be useful around him. "Yes, I understand." Qiao, he saw Yi Mo said nothing more and quickly left. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. There were 2 human divine emperors on the god rank. Where was the other one? The demon race Tao actualization divine emperor saw Luo Qinghe get up, and he couldn't even be bothered talking as he released a golden demonic whip. In that instant, the stage was covered by dark light, but there was golden color amidst this dark light. Luo Qinghe didn't retreat at all. He released a blue longsword at the same time. It also turned into a blue veil of swords. There was spirit sense barrier on the stage, so everyone could only watch with their eyes. People could only see clashes of blue and black rays. They couldn't tell who had the upper hand. Yimo's spirit sense couldn't scan in too. He had spirit sense cultivation method, but he couldn't publicly break the rules. When he was thinking about who would win, he noticed something. That blue sword shadow gave him an extremely familiar feeling. He had seen such cultivation method before. Soon, Yimo remembered. The blue sword shadow was the same origin as the cultivation method Su Changji used. Su Changji was his martial brother, a disciple he took for his master. He changed up Su Changji's cultivation method, and that cultivation method was called Qing Higad cultivation chant. Thinking about how this person was called, Luo Qinghe Yimo realized. He was certain that Su Changji's cultivation method was left behind by this Luo Qinghe. This meant that Luo Qinghe had been to Luo Yu continent. Yimo sighed. The universe was vast, but once your cultivation level reached a certain stage, this endless universe would become small. Luo Qinghe came to the void marketplace and made a name for himself. He even became a divine emperor on the god rank. The 2 were invisible to the crowd. There was just clashes of black whip shadows and blue sword shadows with intense sounds. In a violent beast-like roar, the audience saw a black beast shadow. Yimo immediately recognized this was a mist demon beast. This one was countless times stronger than the one he had seen before. Everyone could tell that Wukong released this mist demon beast. It was extremely real and could even devour sword shadow. As the beast came out, Luo Qinghe's sword shadow loosened up. Darkness started to enclose the stage. Everyone knew that Luo Qinghe had half lost already. Even Yimo thought Luo Qinghe was going to lose and become food to the mist demon beast. Yimo sighed. He knew that on such stage, unless you surrendered and your opponent was willing to let you leave, there was no way out. Yimo really wanted to save Luo Qinghe, but he knew he didn't have the right to. Just when the blue sword shadow was about to disappear, there was suddenly a terrifying howl. Then, everyone saw that a dark red puppet appeared on the stage. It was extremely agile and easily tore the mist demon beast to pieces. Yimo nodded. This puppet was very high level and had its own consciousness. Luo Qinghe seemed to have good fortune. Chapter 2166, Human Race Still Exists. Chapter 2166, Human Race Still Exists. This demon divine immediately stared at Yimo. When he saw that Yimo was a human Tao actualization divine emperor, his murderous force materialized, cracking up the nearby restrictions. Not only him, but all the other divine emperors in the square looked at Yimo in shock. They didn't get it. Yimo was a Tao actualization divine emperor, and dared to speak like this to a Tao essence divine emperor? This was suicide. Even if Yimo was a human too, such actions weren't appreciated by them. Luo Qinghe also looked at Yimo in confusion. He didn't expect there to be such hot-blooded divine emperor. He knew it was suicide, and still dared to curse a Tao essence divine emperor. Pill divine, it's a mere Tao essence. Leave it to me. Xiao, he saw the opportunity to help Yimo, and immediately said, with this, the demon divine immediately calmed down. Xiao, he was Tao essence divine emperor peak stage, and seemed much stronger than him. Xiao, his blue color also materialized around him. That would only form through constant slaughter. Plus, he knew Xiao he had been in the void marketplace for more than 100 years. He killed God, rank 127 Bailey Hong, as a Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but no one looked for his trouble. Xiao, I'm Demon Race Gong Xiang. You're a Tao Essence Divine Emperor. Are you going to help such rude human Tao actualization? Gong Xiang slightly collected his red qi. The nearby people realized. No wonder this Tao actualization divine emperor dared to speak to Gong Xiang like this. He had a Tao essence divine emperor to back him up. Yi Mo signaled Xiao he did not talk. He walked up and said, "This has nothing to do with the rest of the people. Gong Xiang, you're a Tao essence divine emperor, and you're oppressing a Tao actualization divine emperor. You have no shame?" Yi Mo didn't want to owe Xiao he yet. If Xiao he helped him, and he didn't help concoct pills, he would owe Xiao he a huge favor. Yi Mo hated owing people favors. Plus, he really didn't consider this demon Tao essence a threat. Hearing this, Gong Xiang rejoiced and spoke before Xiao he could. "I'm the representative for the demon race at this spot distribution gathering. Wu Kong and Luo Qinghe were fighting for the god rank, but that's also for a spot entering the Tao Fruit Tower. Of course, I have the right to manage this. Who are you? Are you planning to intervene too?" Because Xiao he was watching on the side, Gong Xiang didn't dare to be too harsh. He started to speak with reason. If he gained a foothold there, and Xiao he still dared to attack, he would immediately ask the Tao essence masters of the square to attack. Meanwhile, he could kill Yi Mo and Luo Qinghe. Some people have recognized Pill Divine Yi and started discussing on the side. Yi Mo smiled. "You're right. I'm the person representing the human race for this gathering. How come you have the right to intervene, but I don't?" Yi Mo knew this was another halfway primordial essence. This old man said, "I'm Tian Rui. Now, let the gathering begin." Tian Rui then shut his eyes, as though everything else had nothing to do with him. Kong Han Divine Emperor smiled. "What's worth mentioning is that this time there is the human race and shadow race," Kong Han continued, "because many of the god-ranked divine emperors couldn't come back to the void marketplace in time, and some races not coming, there's an extra 193 spots on the Tao Fruit Tower." Yi Mo heard this and was shocked. He didn't expect there would be this many Tao Fruit Tower spots. There's 46 seats to be distributed. According to the old rules, these spots will be shared evenly. Does anyone object? Kong Han said, and looked at the people. Kong Han meant seats that were at the front. This meant that there was 46 races of powers to be represented. "We're fine." The representatives of different races said. Yi Mo was dazed. Was the gathering this simple? All the spots were shared evenly, and no one objected. Plus, there were 46 powers. The 193 spots can't be divided evenly. Why did no one say anything? After waiting for a while, and no one said anything, Yi Mo said something. "Kong Han Divine Emperor Master, I object." Yi Mo got up and saluted with his fists. Almost everyone looked at Yi Mo. Object to what now? Why would you object to Kong Han Divine Emperor? Fool. That demon Tao essence sneered at Yi Mo. Kong Han Divine Emperor was very shocked that a Tao actualization divine emperor dared to object in this. He looked at Yi Mo with interest. "You're the representative for the human race, right? What objections do you have?" Yi Mo said loudly, "This is my first time coming to the gathering. So I want to ask, does the 193 spots include the 30 spots the human race deserves?" Kong Han said, "Yes. The human race didn't come to this gathering multiple times, so these 30 spots were considered extra ones." Kong Han Divine Emperor Master, would the spots of other races be considered extra? If other races don't share their spots evenly, but just the human race has to, then how is this fair? Yemo said. Konghan Divine Emperor dazed. There were human representatives before, but they didn't make the same request as Yemo and didn't dare to bring up the human race had 30. Yet, this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor dared to make such request. Ha ha! Yemo's words made the palace erupt into laughter. Even Xing Hong looked down. Luo Qinghe and Wang Nanshuang were dazed. They came here with Yi Mo, so the human race wouldn't keep declining. They were ready to die, but they weren't ready for Yi Mo making such terrifying claims. They just wanted to get 1 or 2 spots and then leave. Yet, Yi Mo asked for the 30 spots the human race had before. Konghan Divine Emperor didn't laugh and pressed with his hand for the laughter to stop. Then he looked at Yi Mo and said, "But there were past representatives who didn't make this claim. After all, it's been too long since the human race quit the gathering." Konghan Divine Emperor sighed. He liked Yi Mo's courage, so he wanted to tell Yi Mo inadvertently that even if he took all 193 spots now, and people agreed, it was useless, as this was only the first step to the distribution. The second and third was the most important. No one cared how many spots people got at the first step. That's because I didn't come. If I came, I would have long made such request. Yi Mo said, "Human representative wants to take back the 30 spots that belong to them. Does anyone object?" Konghan heard this and just asked everyone, "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible." Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Blood race is willing to transfer spot to demon race. Some were transferring spots, some were accepting spots. Yi Mo and them stayed silent. If they weren't afraid that their permanent spots would be taken, many races definitely wouldn't come here. Dragon race, Phoenix race, they were so powerful that they left the monster race and became their own race. Even here, they had their own spots. Yi Mo didn't get up. He didn't plan to give his spots away, nor ask for spots. This round soon ended. Yi Mo noticed that it was powerful races accepting spots, for example, the Beast race, Demon race, Abyssal race, Dragon race, Aquarius race. The ones giving spots were weaker ones such as Bug race, Earth DF race, Shadow race. There are small portions of races who didn't give nor accept races. Powerful races, like the Demon race, had accepted more than 20 spots. Even Abyssal race and Aquarius race got more than 10. Then, everyone set their gazes on Yi Mo. The 34 spots was a huge piece of meat. To everyone, it was just temporarily placed with Yi Mo. Now, it was time to split it. Demon race Tao Essence Divine Emperor Gong Xiang immediately stood out and landed on the round stage. He saluted with his fists to Konghan and Tianrui before staying at Yi Mo. The demon race will take 5 of the human race spots. If the human race don't agree, then Gong Xiang will represent the demon race to challenge human race Divine Emperor. Pill Divine Yi, I'll go. Luo Qinghe knew it was suicide, but it was worse than death for him to be timid. Plus, Yi Mo offended Gong Xiang due to him, and that's why Gong Xiang challenged first. Yi Mo patted Luo Qinghe's shoulder, signaling him not to do. Then, Xing Hong's voice sounded by his ear. "Pill Divine, Yi give the spot to him, and he has no reason to challenge." Yi Mo nodded to Xing Hong in gratitude and walked up to the stage and saluted with his fists to the 2 primordial essence divine emperors. "The human race shall take 5 of the demon race's spots. If the demon race don't agree, then I, Yi Mo, shall represent the human race to challenge demon race divine emperor." The gathering had been very serious ever since the 2 primordial essences came out, but now, due to Yi Mo's words, it became noisy. Just what balls did this human Tao Actualization Divine Emperor eat? Was he worried that he wouldn't die a pitiful enough death? Why did he try to infuriate the demon Tao essence like this? Even Tian Rue suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Yi Mo. He didn't understand. Courage was necessary, but it wasn't worth to die for it like this. This was being stupid. Kong Han Divine Emperor's eyes flashed with surprise. Then he said calmly, "Okay, now, the demon race divine Emperor Gong Xiang will battle human race divine Emperor Yi Mo. The losing side will give out 5 spots." As soon as he said this, the restrictions of the stage had been opened. Chapter 2169 Power of Zi Su. Chapter 2169 Power of Zi Su. Even so, he didn't want Yi Mo to die easily. He released his magic artifact, Demon Blood Blade. A blood mark that crossed space came above Yi Mo's head. He was going to destroy Yi Mo's body as quickly as possible and then capture his essence spirit and torture him slowly. How dare a Tao actualization, divine emperor, be this cocky to him? Yi Mo felt this blood realm and knew that Gong Xiang was weaker than the demon Tao essence divine emperor he killed before. He didn't need Zi Su to kill him, but Yi Mo didn't plan to not use Zi Su. Hiding his strength here wasn't good. He was going to kill Gong Xiang with lightning speed and shock everyone. Otherwise, he might face endless challenges today. He didn't fear these challenges, but every time he killed someone, he would offend that power. Yi Mo didn't want to offend too many. Yi Mo's domain suddenly burst out. His domain was beginning to form a realm too. It made Gong Xiang's realm crumble rapidly. Yi Mo even stacked on top his powerful spirit sense realm. Gong Xiang's blood realm was instantly pulverized. The blood chi circulated around him blew out like feathers. The next moment, Gong Xiang felt the space between him and Yi Mo freeze. The instant he felt this, he knew that he had underestimated Yi Mo. This was ice space god art. It can only be used with certain level of space law and ice law knowledge. Gong Xiang's knowledge of space law was inadequate, and his space law god art couldn't even materialize. The demon blood blade immediately stopped. Yi Mo wasn't affected at all by his blood realm, and the moment space froze, a purple sword ray was hacked out. Gong Xiang broke free from ice space instantly, and just when he wanted to seal this purple sword ray, he found that this sword ray carried a vast and extreme lethal force pressure that drew away all the surrounding lethal force. This wasn't just sword domain lethal force, but also world lethal force. Yi Mo didn't even use a god art on this strike. It was just an ordinary swing with the broken ice space god art. Ice space was broken, but it still affected Gong Xiang. However, what killed Gong Xiang wasn't ice space, but this sword primordial spirit artifact. Gong Xiang looked at the purple sword ray slice over his body in despair and called out, "Such dominating primordial lethal force. What else could it be other than the best primordial spirit artifact?" The insect in his eyes instantly killed him in a duel with him. As soon as Gong Xiang's essence spirit came out, it was grinded by Yi Mo's purple sword ray and disappeared. The blood chi disappeared, and a demon blood blade fell on the ground. Zi Su returned to its ordinary look and was put into storage ring by Yi Mo. Yi Mo waved up the demon blood blade and a storage ring and walked off the stage. He was quite shocked and happy. He knew his powers had increased a few levels, but only now did he realize to what extent. However, Yi Mo couldn't find the owner of the spirit sense. The serious silence didn't last for long when a Tao essence drenched in water came up and screeched, "Aquarius race Sun Tai will take 1 spot of the winged race. If you don't agree, then come up." Yi Mo looked at the 3 from the winged race. They were all Tao essence divine emperor, but Yi Mo could tell none of them could beat Sun Tai. It also seemed that they were more adept at fighting in spacious areas, not small confinements. The winged race got up and said, "Winged race don't want to fight. Take the spot." Winged Race now already gave out 3 spots, but now their last spot was taken. Aquarius Race was probably annoyed that they didn't get one of the 3 spots. There were other divine emperors challenging each other, but no one challenged Yi Mo. Yi Mo didn't plan to challenge anyone else. Abyssal Race want 5 human race spots. If the human race don't agree, come up and challenge me, Zhongli Huoyin. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.